Frontiers. We got some actual gameplay footage of it, and I think that this is something that people have wanted for a very, very long time, just because it was announced at the end of last year or something like that. So people were very obviously excited for it and wanted to see what this Sonic open world game would actually be. And IGN, it looks like they signed a deal with Sega, Sonic Team, whoever, to do first gameplay videos on Sonic Frontiers, which is cool and also not so cool, just because IGN has had a history of just having
always
people
shit
that,
on Sonic.
yeah, they always just shit on Sonic. So I'm obviously like very sort of like wary of what they're gonna say and what they're gonna talk about, but for the most part they're just like, hey guys, so like this is a video of gameplay, and then they don't say anything. So the first worldwide premiere video, that's the first one we're going to talk about. A lot of people just had mixed opinions on it, including myself. So I'm very curious as to what you have to say about this, Damian.
Yeah, I mean, I think I feel the same way a lot of people feel, where I'm like pretty mixed on it so far. I wouldn't say I hate it. Like, I think there are some elements that could work. But I'm actually getting really big like Pokemon Legend Arceus vibes, where when I first saw gameplay for that game, I kind of feel the same way I do now, where, you know, the game actually does look pretty. Like, it's not like I don't think it looks as ugly as something like Arceus, because Arceus looks like shit. But, you know, there's some other technical issues, like the pop-in is really bad. Like, Sonic would walk like 1 foot and then like grind rails started popping up. So that looks pretty bad. And just like the sort of like world design is very disjointed. Like, again, you can see like grind rails and random like platforms in the air. Like, none of it looks really organic at all. You know, and the gameplay wise, like, it looks like they just kind of took like Sonic from Sonic Forces and just plopped it on there. Like, I feel like boost formula probably wouldn't work as well as just taking like sort of like a more adventure style control scheme, since those games are more focused on platforming to begin with. And since you're kind of making a game that has like more slower moments like puzzles and combat, I feel like something like an adventure format would have worked better. Because it just kind of looks awkward whenever Sonic moves slow. Like, he's not like built for that. And I guess it's just like the whole thing of an open world Sonic game to begin with. Like, I know some people wanted it, but it was something I've never truly gotten. Like, with something like Pokemon, like Pokemon probably should have just moved on to open world to begin with. But with Sonic, I've never really had that like desire to see Sonic in the open world, and them just kind of making it Breath of the Wild, but with Sonic. I feel like that just does not mix with his character, like with the slower gameplay and puzzles and like the piano music. I'm like, this is all just Breath of the Wild, but with Sonic. So, yeah, right now I'm sure it's gonna be fun. Like, I'm gonna reserve judgment until I actually like play the game. But like, just like Arceus, because Arceus I kind of feel the same way about. But yeah, right now it's looking a little rough.
Yeah, 100%. I think that because I didn't watch this live, so my first, I guess, reaction to it was seeing people's thoughts on Twitter, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Is it actually that bad, guys? Holy shit. So when I finally watched the first, I guess, 7 minutes of gameplay that we have seen, yeah, it definitely looks very strange. I think that one thing that I really took away from this gameplay video that I'm now watching for like the third or fourth time is that like the game itself looks like something that a fan could have made.
Yeah.
Like, that's my biggest thing, is that like we've seen fan creations of people make their own open world Sonic games, and this is sort of like what it looks like, and that sucks, because this is Sonic Team, this is Sega that we're talking about here, and you know, the pop-in was something that I 100% noticed immediately, especially after they did like the transition and like he started doing like some sort of like obstacle or whatever, and I was like, what the hell? Like, why did that just like pop in randomly? You know, especially since because I don't expect that from a next generation game as well. I feel like that because this game's going to be on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, it shouldn't have stuff like that, but it does for some reason. So people are definitely wanting this game to be delayed, which, you know, like, because now we've seen it probably should get delayed. There's obviously way too much that they have to like change and fix if they really want people to like get really excited for it. Because like now that I've seen the game, I'm actually excited for it, just because I wanna play it myself and see how good or how bad this is. Because for once, when Sonic does something new and different, I'm kind of looking forward to it. You know, I feel like the last time Sonic did something like really, really different was Sonic Lost World. And that game, like, obviously he was like trying to do Mario Galaxy and shit like that, and that didn't really work as well. But I don't know. This gameplay video, because of the music, especially, like, I feel like when you play Sonic games, the one thing that a lot of people notice is like the upbeat music, or like,
Yeah.
you know, the sort of music that'll tie into whichever area that they're in, because they're going for this like Breath of the Wild sort of like environment aspect music. It doesn't really fit Sonic that well. And I think that that's like the biggest thing, is that like when you're watching this video, it's like very quiet, like nothing's really happening. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I really like that, especially since, because like you said earlier, it's not something that Sonic's really familiar with. And like the lack of a HUD as well, I feel like it looks cool, but like from like a gameplay perspective, and for like me personally, I feel like that there should be, you know, something going on there with like a ring counter, a health bar, something like that, because, you know, I'm just like very confused as to like what's going on, and like how like controls work and everything like that, which like we'll probably know by the end of this IGN coverage. But as of right now, it's sort of like confusing as to what's going on screen. Like, how does this work? How does that happen? Except this and that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is going to be a HUD. I think they just hide it for like the gameplay reveal. I mean, I agree with you where, like, you know, I'm all down for game franchises like evolving or like being different from like past games, you know, Breath of the Wild, Pokemon, but I feel like it kind of has to fit
Yes.
what like what the character is. Like, I feel like soft piano music in Breath of the Wild, like open world, doesn't really fit Sonic as a character, at least to me. Like, I mean, if they wanted to do an open world Sonic game, it probably should have been something more like Mario Odyssey, where you have like more bigger levels and you could like collect a bunch of things, and it's still like cartoony looking and stuff. Like, I think I would have preferred something like that over like a Breath of the Wild type deal, because when I think of that, I'm thinking of a slower character, more exploration stuff, and Sonic is more about just going fast, right? So, I had another point.
I mean, like, imagine if like we had like Sonic Colors, like the planets, right? But that was like an open world game. I think that would have suited it a lot more. And one thing that you said earlier as well was just seeing like the different obstacles just like randomly just like in the air scattered throughout the world. I'm like, yeah, that definitely does look weird, and it doesn't look organic, because like when you think of like Breath of the Wild, obviously it's like when stuff like that is in the world, it's very organic, like it meshes with the aesthetic of the world. Meanwhile here, it's like you have grind rails, you have Sonic bumpers and shit like that. It's like, what the hell's going on?
It looks like a lot of automation too. Like, there's not like a lot of like, I mean, that's kind of my problem with Forces, where I felt like a lot of the levels were straight up just either press boost, or like you just go through a bunch of speed paths and like grind rails and you're fine. You know, I feel like Unleash and Generations did that a little. Obviously it was still like boost to win, because that's just, you know, the boost gameplay. But I felt like there was a lot more control over Sonic than like Forces, and this is looking like a lot more automation with just a bunch of grind rails, and like you could climb up surfaces and stuff. It just looks like not really playing with like, I guess, like momentum or whatever. Just like, oh, let's just make Sonic go. So yeah, not really like, you know, looking forward to that. But yeah, it all just boils down to where I don't know if Sonic fits in like in a game like this. And you know, they said this is the direction they want Sonic going forward, like this sort of like, I guess, open world direction. But I'm just not really, I'm not really seeing it. Again, I'm sure it's gonna be fun. Like, once I'm gonna give it a chance, because that's what I said about RCS, and I ended up really liking that game. So I'm gonna wait until I actually like play the game for myself and see how I think about it, since Sonic games are so like volatile in terms of like opinion and stuff. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to wait until I actually play it. I guess we could like talk a bit about the combat as well.
I mean, like, just one last thing on the first IGN video. When you messed up that puzzle, I was like, what is going on? You guys didn't cut that out?
It was like, I saw on Twitter, it's like 99% of people can't solve this. It just shows that. It's really funny. But yeah, I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about like slower paced puzzles like that in a Sonic game. That's really weird. I feel like they should focus more on platforming challenges and like, I guess, combat challenges as well. Like, puzzles in a Sonic game are just like kind of weird. Like, I know that like there were some in older games, but I don't know. I feel like this one's like, oh, this is just a Breath of the Wild puzzle. I don't know. It doesn't vibe with me in a game like this.
But yeah, you know, the combat was revealed today. I just happened to like see it like at 11:59. I was like, oh shit! I had the tab open, but I was like, oh, what the hell's going on in my like, you know, fucking Firefox? Oh, the premiere's happening. So the combat, it looks different as well. Sonic doing a bunch of kicks and shit. That was very off.
The homing attack is just straight up Shadow's homing attack in 06. Remember when he homing attack into a combo? Yeah, it's basically just that. So I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I think I prefer. I mean, Sonic games, don't really have a lot of combat to begin with. It's more just homing attacks just to keep the momentum up because the game is about speed and stuff. Like slowing down to do combat isn't what Sonic does. I mean, that's like Hedgehog did it. No one really liked Hedgehog because it's like really slow. And Sonic Boom did it, I think, too, and no one liked that either because it doesn't feel like Sonic. I feel like this is the first combat system in a Sonic game that kind of at least looks a little fast. At least it uses Sonic's like speedster like nature to make a moveset. Like he has his little tornado thing he could do. He has like fast combos and like he could do like this weird like backflip into another homing attack thing. I don't know what's going on. And like these fast like kick like Sonic Wind stuff. Like it looks like fun, but I hope it's not like a main focus of the game because I'm sure that's not all Sonic could do, but if that's all Sonic could do, then it's gonna get boring really fast. These games are more reliant on their level design and platforming because that's the platformers. Platformers that have like combat systems are usually pretty dull, which is again why people didn't like the Hedgehog that much. So I'm hoping they learn their lesson and keep combat encounters like pretty scarce, or just use it as like stage hazards more than like dedicated combat encounters because. Yeah, like Sonic isn't like Dante. Like he's not getting for like DMC shit. So but for the most part, it looks fine. It looks like a good, I guess, evolution to what I guess a Sonic combat system should be as regular Sonic. But yeah, it looks alright.
Yeah, it definitely looks kind of fun. I'm gonna be honest. Definitely not something that I think a lot of people are expecting or imagining when they think about Sonic combat.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, I mean, like, once again, like, the sort of, like, vibes of, like, a fan-made Sonic game are still ringing through here, in my opinion, when I'm watching this new gameplay video. I'm glad that they're still keeping, I guess, like, it's still Sonic doing his, his homing attacks. He has, like, this circle thing that'll immobilize certain enemies. That dodge mechanic really threw me off. I was like, what the fuck? He just did, like, a sort of, like, parry dodge or some shit like that. I was like, what is going on? But... yeah, I mean, I'm sure that it is fun. Is it something that I sort of see Sonic doing? Not necessarily, but if it can work sort of thing, And obviously, because this is all just gameplay videos, we're just seeing it for our eyes. And until we actually get our hands on it, we don't really know. I really like the Shadow of the Colossus boss fight.
Yeah.
Just because it still shows that, like, with each, I guess, like, hand that he lost, it was getting harder to climb up it. Yeah. So... yeah, I mean, I'm 100% down for boss fights like this. I feel like Sonic boss fights aren't a huge sort of like major focus, I would say. Like, they are definitely like iconic moments, sort of like with Chaos at the end of SA1, SA2, etc., etc. The boss fights at the end of every single Sonic game are sort of recognizable, and that's sort of like what people remember the most about those games. But I feel like the boss fights themselves, when you actually play them, they're not like super amazing or super intense, I would say.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think if they have like these big set piece like boss fights with these Shadow of the Colossus like type like monsters going down, like, I think that's very unique for a Sonic game. Like, and most of that you could take them down while like going supersonic or whatever. Like that looks pretty cool. And yeah, like you said, I like how it got harder as like the phases went on with each arm going down. Like shoots a bunch of more projectiles. That actually looks pretty fun. I don't know how the I think it all goes down to just how the open world is really designed. The combat looks pretty fun, but if they actually too much of it, it's probably not gonna be too fun. And I guess that just relies on how like the open world is just designed. If there's like a bunch of like a nice variety of activities to do, from like combat or exploration, if there's traditional stages anywhere, which I heard there was supposed to be traditional stages, like that would be like main story missions. You would just do like a normal like boost stage basically. That's why I've been hearing a lot. I don't know if that's true or not. And this is sort of just like the hub world to get you around. And apparently there's supposed to be more than one open world. Like this is like the first one being the grassy area.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it all just depends on like how all this stuff flows together well, and if it feels too much like busy work, right? Because the problem with a lot of open world games is a lot of it does feel like busy work. Like I don't mind it because I'm a weirdo and I like doing stuff like that. Like I died like 100% in Horizon Forbidden West and Pokemon Arceus, so like I'm kind of weird. But not everyone's into that, like I'm sure, and especially people that are Sonic fans, right? Like I'm sure a lot of them have played open world games. So if this game is just like, oh, climb Ubisoft towers and collect a bunch of bullshit that probably doesn't matter, then that's probably not gonna like drive a lot of people, and it might just feel like it's artificially lengthening the game, since Sonic games are notoriously pretty short, like to complete. So hopefully they could keep things interesting for like a pretty okay amount of time, and the activities are just fun to do. But Sega has a lot. They had to show more. Oh, I can't remember what I was gonna say earlier. I honestly feel like revealing the game in such a raw state probably wasn't the best. I feel like they probably should just I feel like they probably should have just done like sort of an overview trailer. Like here's maybe they open up that trailer with like here's some story beats, like what's happening, because we still don't know what the hell is happening. So like they maybe show like some story hooks to get you interested in what's going on. To do like quick, almost like the teaser we saw before all these trailers, to show like some combat, to explain how the gameplay loop is supposed to be. Like we need some more explanation, because seeing like this raw gameplay just looks boring, right? And like empty and weird. So I honestly feel they should have led with something like that instead of just going like, okay, here's raw gameplay. Like it's cool, like I like it when companies do show raw gameplay, but people are just confused because they don't know what the hell's going on. So yeah,
I think raw gameplay works when it's a game or a sequel that people are already familiar with. Yeah. Like, if we got, like, raw gameplay of Spider-Man 2, shit, man. Like, I'm fucking in, If they just be showing new mechanics without explaining, like, we'll know it's new. But this is something completely different for the Sonic franchise and something completely new that, fans have never seen before. So we're just looking at it and we're like, all right, so I guess that's a thing. Kind of mechanic, and I guess... No, go on.
I was just gonna say, because Sonic's like collecting like these hearts and like weird fruit. I'm like, what is all this? Like some explanation would be nice. So
and definitely, I hope we see maybe one other world that we can explore, because obviously we've only seen like this island in this sort of grassy area. So I wonder what the story is and everything like that. Obviously, but like you said, I think an overview trailer definitely would have gave Sonic Frontiers better press, but. No one hates Sonic more than Sonic fans. I feel like most fan bases are like that. So no matter what they say, they're probably still gonna buy the game. Like I'm not a hater. Obviously, I feel like that because we're just seeing raw gameplay of it, and it does look a little rough. If they release it like this, am I still gonna buy it? Yeah, obviously, because like I'm gonna talk about it. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video on it either way. But I feel like most consumers, just general audiences. If you're a Sonic fan, you're probably going to look at this game and possibly buy it. I feel like you're more than likely to buy it. But if you're not a Sonic fan, you're not even paying attention to what the hell's going on here. But yeah, I mean, hopefully the other IGN first looks we get are going to be a little better, and hopefully we get more details as to what the gameplay has to offer. Maybe even like a story video to sort of explain what Ian Flynn and co are sort of writing up and conceptualizing for Sonic Frontiers, because that's definitely one of the big reasons why I'm excited for this game, is seeing Ian Flynn actually write a main series Sonic game, because he's been writing the Sonic comic books for years and years and years, and he knows these characters very well, and I wonder how the other cast of Sonic characters are going to fit into here, if at all. So
just Tails.
Just Tails, that's
just Tails, maybe anyway. But I mean, I think it's just like a win. I mean, I'm also just gonna buy it because I'm also a Sonic fan. Like I played every mainline Sonic game. It's kind of just what it is. I mean, I didn't buy Forces till like a year later, and I kind of still felt ripped off from it because it was like $20. And I finished this game in literally 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not always about length or anything, but that was pretty short, and it wasn't very good. So yeah, hopefully Frontiers is what the series needs. So people can actually take Sonic seriously again, or it could just further bring Sonic Team down to its knees, and Sega is just kind of like relying on like Yakuza and like Persona to like keep it up at this point. Because Sonic, this game is gonna be pretty big for Sonic, either in a good way or in a bad way. So I guess we're just gonna have to see until we play it. I'm gonna give it the benefit of a doubt because I did the same thing with Arceus. So let's see. I think it will be fun, at least. I hope.
Yeah, I hope it's fun too, because the whole time I was playing Sonic Forces, which was the last Sonic Team Sonic game
5 years ago.
Yeah, I was fucking dreading that shit. I was like, I gotta create my own character. I'm not creating shit. I'm just leaving it default. These classic Sonic levels. Oh my lord. Yeah, the modern Sonic levels weren't even that great. Yeah, no, it was just bad.
Forces was not great. Yeah.
Story was rushed. Oh, anyways,
this
but
is
war. There's a lot riding on this game, and I feel like if this one flops, they should just let Sonic fans create the games, because obviously Mania worked, and I'm sure that there's people out there that want to create a 3D Sonic game of their own, and if Sega and whoever else gives them the resources to officially do that, they'll probably do a good job, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just gonna wait for more trailers. We'll probably talk about it more because it's say IGN's like we have like a month-long footage of the game. So I'm like, all right, fine. So it's gonna be a month-long ride for information. So I guess we'll keep updating on this game as the shit comes out for it.
All right, so now we'll click.